Hello, and welcome to episode number 200 and something. Hold on, I'm checking right now. I want to say 255. Yes, 255 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be Monday Night Raw for week 1 of June 2022. We're finally in the month of June. Just as we're about to tick over to July in 44 minutes, or no, 44. 38 minutes in real life. We're going to tick over to July. So I've got this month to catch up with now, but it's fine. I should be able to smash this month out really quickly. And we're on the road to Money in the Bank. We've got 2 qualifiers tonight. I don't think we actually technically announced the men's one last week, but it's Angel Garza and Bobby Roode. And then the women's one is Liv Morgan and Asuka. And then we're going to have a big battle royal. You know, occasionally I love a big built-up battle royal being the main event of a show, and we're going to do that tonight. 10-man battle royal. Winner goes to Money in the Bank to wrestle Big E for the World Heavyweight Championship. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We start off with the announcers running down what I just ran down. Because we're rubbing up with the qualifying match, Angel Garza and Bobby Roode. But I just wanted to get this on here, hey, welcome to Raw, we're going to run it down the show. And as an excuse to get Kingsley Quinn on screen, because his gimmick was there. He is Caprice Coleman with his new WWE announcer name. This is my Raw announce team. I went over this the other episode. It's not going to make any in-game difference because I cheat with my announcers anyway. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I say I'm all to really high announcing stats because I think the game dinging you because this guy had shit commentary. That's just dumb. So it's just going to be a headcanon thing. Tom and Kingsley are on Raw, and Nigel and Maura on SmackDown. 79 is fine, I guess, for this. They both scored over 80, so I guess I could have done better. But apparently Garza's got a poor MILF on a gimmick, and yeah, but Garza qualifies over Bobby Roode via some Dixie shenanigans. 84 for Roode, 82 for Garza, and yeah, that dastardly Angel Garza and his evil MILF, his cougar, Dixie Carter, strike again over a woman she knows quite well, who she tried to, coach once again because they have the past, But it's not to be because Garza joins Tyler Breeze, Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins, and LA Knight in Money in the Bank. And we're going to know that on SmackDown will be either Keith Lee or Happy Corbin joining, and then next week on Raw will be either Rey Mysterio, Angelo Dawkins, Dominic Mysterio, or Montez Ford in. And then the final SmackDown spot that we don't yet know. We then cut to Alexa's office. Ivy's there, of course, arms folded, looking tough, secretary. And Charlotte and Jordan walk in. She's like, "You came to see me, Alexa?" She's like, "Yes, I'm sure as you're aware, we suspended that scumbag Bianca Belair, and that's fine. So she's out of your hair. Thank you for qualifying for Money in the Bank over her, but this Nova Nebula girl, she's still been at my throat after 2 months. I don't understand what her problem is either. So since you're both in Money in the Bank, that's an excuse to run that match. So tonight you're gonna face Nova for me, and maybe go in a little extra hard in case." If she was to not make it for Money in the Bank, I had to replace her. That sure would be a shame, And yeah, maybe a little monetary incentive, maybe a night off. Maybe I'll give you a month off defending those belts. Just do whatever you can. Charles like, "I don't need bribes. I will just win because I'm the best." Woo, and leaves. Just cementing that these aren't an alliance. Charlotte just so happens to be facing all of the people that Alexa doesn't like. We then get a backstage segment, a video package, the second Alba Fire vignette going through her backstory and her twiddling with fire torches and shit, and how next week she's gonna make her rebirth here on Raw in a Money in the Bank qualifier. And then Ruby Riott is doing the Control TEW special of watching it on TV, and she's like, Kaylee Ray, she was quite a tough competitor, but Liv's in this Money in the Bank match, and I would love to get in that match and fight Liv. So if it's a fight that Alba or Kaylee Ray or whoever you want to call her wants, then sure, I'll take her on next week in a qualifier. And then Liv just walks past and she's like, "You're still being a loser, I see." It's over, Ruby. I've found my true friends, and you're now the one struggling because of it, because you needed me more than I needed you, and you're going to find that out next week when you lose to this girl. Or maybe you make it to Money in the Bank, and who knows, you won't make it out. Ruby's like, I'm not scared if you live, like, Jesus. "66 rated match. Karrion Kross defeats Eddie Wilson with nothing personal in 1 minute to make defense number 2 of the Carnage title. 82 for Karrion, 42 for Eddie." After the match, you may notice a new face in here. Cutler is here in the Cross Cult. He beats the fuck out of Eddie Wilson and lays him out with his finisher. And then we get a 3-man Cross Cult standing tall. How many more of us are out there? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, Cutler with a K is here. He just felt like the sort of, dimwit that I put in this group that would make sense. So yeah, he probably thinks he's edgy and cool. So yeah, he seemed like the perfect third member for the Cross Cult. I am excited, as you can tell in my voice. Hey! Now we get to a actual stable that I am excited to see. Path of the Dragon. With Xia Li, who joined last week, of course. Reminiscing about how they whipped the Fiend's ass at Backlash, and how at Money in the Bank they will face the Fiend and Willow in a rematch, as I've told out loud a million times, but had never been officially announced in headcanon. And you got Big This came at the perfect time as well, because you got Big Zergus there. And if any of you watched real life AEW Dynamite last night, there was a new look of Luchasaurus who looked like proper angry. In real life it's because he's a heel, but and when I said they went to Park Dragon Mountain and went super badass and fighting and like cool and looked different, Tozawa and Humberto got the face paint. What changed about Zergus? Well, Dragon Mask, he's gonna... So that version of Luchasaurus is what we look like. Perfectly timed, AEW, thank you. Can you drop a render for him, please, so I can update the picture? That'd be lovely. Anyway, they're still training, so I was like, you did impress both me, myself, and Master Tajiri and all of the students back up at the Dragon Mountain, but we still have a lot to learn, because this is a great threat. Greater threat than anything that me and Tajiri could have imagined. You need to make sure you're fighting fit. And then Balor Club, the 3 members that aren't live, because we had live a minute ago, walk in. But I was like, what do you think you're doing coming in here getting a title shot over my boys? Well, let's see what's going on here tonight. It's going to be a huge night for the Balor Club, because you see Finn Balor and myself in that Battle Royal main event for a chance to get back my World Heavyweight Championship. Liv, going to qualify for Money in the Bank. But Santos and Reed, they got nothing going on, so if you want to prove that you're really a tough tag team, you'll take on my boys. And then, so I was like, well, they accept. That'll be a great challenge. And normally they'd be like, oh, do we? But, they're badass and fighting and warriors now, so of course they do. What's this? Xia, oh, she has poor momentum and has a poor gimmick, so I'm going to change it to the Protector. Still gets poor. All of the gimmicks for these are fucking poor. The game doesn't want these to get over, but fuck you, I'm going to persevere with it. We then get, there's going to be a couple of these spread throughout the night. Segments with, we're going to know the all 10 participants in the Battle Royal in the main event. And we start off with MVP gassing up Bobby Lashley. He's like, oh, you the almighty Bobby Lashley got a title opportunity back at Backlash. He was screwed because Walter was in that match. But now it's going to be one-on-one, the almighty and Big E at Money in the Bank. And it got the colossal Bronson Reed and the prime-time Ronnie Hughes in our corner. And Ronnie's also looking for a match tonight. He's not in the Battle Royal, but he's like, hey, P, we can get a match for me. That'll be sick. It's like, yeah, we'll get one for you, Ronnie. That'll be great. Then we get Blitzkrieg again. Going, nah, the mat is sacred. We're going to toss everybody off it. Ha, and all that. Whoa, 80. Ludwig is on a roll, He's 78 rated matches, getting 80 rated matches, 78 rated performances. He wins with the Regal Plex, 8:30 to beat Drew Gulak, who was working through an injury, which is why he didn't do that good. After the match, Ludwig takes the mic and he's going to start speaking when Sami Zayn interrupts him. And Sami's like, look, Ludwig, I get it. You've made a mistake that a lot of people have made throughout the years. Trust me, a lot of people have made that mistake. I'm not the guy you're looking for. I know the guy you're looking for, but I'm not the guy you're looking for, see? That guy, he's never been here in WWE. I don't know what you're looking for him here for, because he's not going to be here. If you want to find him, he's down in Mexico. But all I know is that your business with him has got nothing to do with me. I'm in the Battle Royal main event for the chance to become the number one contender for the world title, and I'd rather focus on that than whatever this is with you and this stupid mask that you want to get, Ludwig. So, that's all. Case closed. You want to find him, go to Mexico. Segment. Breeze and Wardon having a chat. It's like, Money in the Bank. I'm going to win Money in the Bank because I'm the best. And I'm going to have Wardon by my side every damn step of the way. But, Money in the Bank isn't enough. Tonight, myself and Wardon are going to be in that 10-man Battle Royal. And Wardon's going to do the business, and then Wardon's going to do the right thing and let me get the chance to defeat Big E for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then when I win Money in the Bank, nobody will cash in on me. This is what big brain smart people do. Then Wardon's like, Breeze, you're not in the Battle Royal tonight. And he's like, yes I am. What do you mean? You're in it. And he's like, yeah, I'm in it, you're not. He's like, what do you mean I'm not in the Battle Royal? He's like, well, you're already in Money in the Bank, so they obviously didn't think to put you in the Battle Royal. Sorry, but I guess I'll win it and I'll bring the belt home. But he goes, no, give me your spot. Wardon goes, that's not happening, buddy. But he's like, what do you mean? You listen to me, I'm your boss, okay? You give me your spot in Money in the Bank. Wardon goes, nah, I don't think I'm going to do that, buddy. And he walks off. And he's like, well, there's one thing you do have to do for me. I demand you. And he sort of whispers in his ear. And Wardon just sighs and he just walks off. The anime boys and gal are here. You start with Sensei talking to Saray. Like, well, when was the last time you saw the necklace? And she's like, I had it when we went to Raw and I fought on Heat. But when I came back, it was gone. I didn't notice it was gone until we got back here. So we have to go back. Luckily, Raw's in the same building every single week called the XL Center. So maybe it'll be backstage there somewhere. And somebody on that fucking roster has my necklace. And then we pan across to Dio and Manny, who are sort of just practicing anime moves. And Manny's like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, this is what the cool guys do. I'm practicing our special move. If we don't have a special move, how are we going to win? Like, how are we going to show every other tag team in the company how great of friends we are if we don't have a power of friendship special move? Manny's like, you are making a lot of sense. So, what are we thinking? Like, powerbomb, Hurricane Rana, double chokeslam, double crossbody. Dio's like, double chokeslam? You're not a double chokeslam. I'm like twice the size of you. And Manny's like, 1.5. Come on. Dio's like, nah, 2. Like, ignoring that part, we do need to come up with a move. And then Sensei comes in and they're like, well, you've got all the time in the world to come up with a move. Crisis has arisen, boys, and I don't like that you're just leaving our friend Saray here without her special necklace. We need to find the culprit for this. To Raw we go, and next week the investigation begins. You know what this is, Manny? Dio says, he turns to you, you know what this is? He's like, what is it? He puts his arm around Manny's shoulder, he's like, our first arc. And they walk off. Oh my god! Banger match! Charlotte beats Nova. Again, what is the rule about undefeated people? It doesn't matter. As long as she was booked strong to get on with. I'd like to, not have her be undefeated for too long because I don't want to have that. Oh, she's unbeaten. She can't just lose here. So she's taken an L. Charlotte wins. She doesn't look any weaker from it. But it's fine. But got to show that she's vulnerable, As a babyface. 76 for Nova, 89 for Charlotte. And 88 match, probably the best match Nova's had, which is cool and expected because it's Charlotte, Here's another one of those segments. The Miz. He's talking directly to the camera. He's like, everybody's talking about who's going to win the Battle Royal. You see, here's the thing of winning that Battle Royal. You see, Matt Riddle last week thought he shocked the world when he beat The Miz to qualify for Money in the Bank. But the fact of the matter is he didn't do any such things because The Miz knew, I knew, that Money in the Bank is too easy. I've done it before. I haven't done before is become World Heavyweight Champion, hold big goal over my shoulder. And I'm going to do that by winning this Battle Royal tonight. Because there ain't nobody on this Raw roster that I can't eliminate. Because I can eliminate everybody, because I'm the stronger than you, and I'm damn sure smarter than you. So anybody, and he puts his arms around, he's like, anybody, and he twats something behind him. Turns around, Omos is there. And Bivens pokes his little head around from behind Omos, he's like, you were saying, Miz? And just walks off. And then Omos turns around, and Shanky's back in his face. And he's like, rap, don't mess with the Shankster. Or MCMIZ. And Bivens like, whatever, weirdo. Miz is like, looks at Shanky all confused, like, what was that? And Shanky's like, Miz, I found you, I'm back. He's like, yes, you're back, where have you been, and what are you doing? He's like, I was on vacation for a month. Don't ask why. And I decided to pick up a new skill. I'm thinking of becoming Slim Shanky. And he's like, Slim Shanky? You're going to become Slim Shanky? What is Slim Shanky? Do explain. I was like, well, basically, you've ever heard Indian rap? And Mrs. like, no, I can't say I have. And Shanky's like, well, then you wouldn't get it. And he walks off. And he's like, well, no, I want to get it. I want to get it, Shanky. Come on, explain it to me. Just a funny end to that segment. Gotta bring Shanky back somehow. Slim Shanky's here, Backstage segment. Cody is seen arriving with Dustin and Brandy. Because Brandy's got to be here in town for heat, Because he is taped after Raw. And him and Dustin are coming to the ring because Cody's having an open challenge for anybody on the Raw roster. Wrestling has more than one royal family goes off. Bang, 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 pyro. Here he comes with Dustin. It's like, I got some good news and some bad news, people. Let's start with the good news. The good news is that William Regal, Tyler Bate, or whoever that is, Dudley Davis, and Pete Dunne aren't here tonight. The bad news is that means you can't see me and my big brother whoop their ass. However, when every cloud has a silver lining, we can't whoop the ass of Pete Dunne and Dudley Davis. We will see those two at Money in the Bank, that's for damn sure. But for now, it's time for an open challenge. Who out on the Raw roster wants to step in the ring with a Nightmare next? Then the Hurt Business come out without Bobby Lashley. And if he's like, Cody, I got a lot of respect for you. I do. It may not seem like I do, but I do have a lot of respect for you. See, we came up at the same time together. Which is why I feel like, out of respect, you're going to rub shoulders with the hottest rising star here on Raw, primetime Ronnie Hughes, the newest member of the Hurt Business. Because Bobby Lashley's going to win that Battle Royal in the main event tonight. And Ronnie needs to get himself a big win tonight too, and it's going to come at the expense of you, unfortunately, Cody. Like I said, I do respect the hell out of you, but I think Ronnie might have what it takes to topple the Nightmare. And Cody's like, well, good to see you too, P. Let's see what the kid's got. Ronnie versus Cody gets an 81. Cody fractures his cheekbone, that's fine. He won't be out of action for that. It's not like he tore his pec or anything. Cody wins, but in a banger match. Ronnie gets the rub just from being in there with Cody and putting on a good showing. That kind of match. They've got great chemistry. Cody gets a 90 and a 73 for Ronnie Hughes. But yeah, he might be working through that for Money in the Bank, but he actually might be healed. It's only a fractured cheekbone. Like, it's nothing big. I like when I know the injury's nothing. Because I don't have to. I'm not going to sit here and panic about Cody being hurt. But it is week 1 of June Raw, which is, in real life, At least they didn't blame Ronnie for it either. So it was just a freak accident. Anyway, Hit Row doing their own unique thing. Because Swerve's in the Battle Royal main event, but of course they're in a diss track on everybody in the match. And they're going to play it to the world as a vignette ahead of Swerve's inclusion in the main event. Then another quick backstage segment. Asuka's like, she's got her mask hanging up. She puts her mask over her head. Like, not over her face, but like on her head as she goes to walk to the ring. Puts her jacket on, like, filled with her kick pads and shit. Julia walks in. Just Julia, no Micah. And she's like, hey, Asuka. I feel like occasionally when the two Japanese people are talking, they would just speak in Japanese with each other, because I think it's weird that two Japanese people would walk in and start talking English to each other, but it would be subtitled on the bottom, so we know what they're saying. So that's why I'm just going to read. Like, hey, Asuka, I know Micah had the issues, like, the last couple of weeks, and I want this to be a fair fight. I don't want her, you know, anger to take out on you and cost you this match tonight. So I've told her to stay at home. She obviously listens to me because she is my tag team partner, like she's been saying the whole time. So it's just going to be us two out there tonight against Liv. Because I don't know if Battle Club are going to be there or anything, but we need backup. And I think it's like, well, I don't need your help, but thank you for it anyway. Cesaro's in his locker room. He's also in the Battle Royal, as is Kyle O'Reilly, who walks in on him. He's like, hey, Claudio. And Cesaro's like, hello, Kyle O'Reilly, my boy. He's like, you know that great match we had like a couple of weeks ago on Raw? That was a great time, wasn't it? He's like, yeah, that was. It was a good time getting in the ring with you again. Because, like, well, it's not going to be the last, because we're both in this Battle Royal to main event tonight. And as much as I respect the fuck out of you, and, like, you're one of my favourite opponents and one of my best friends, I'm going to win it. And if you get in my way, then I'll have to eliminate you, my buddy. And so I was like, well, bring it. I wouldn't want you to take it easy on me. I know I just lost last week for the World Heavyweight Championship, but I've been given a second chance to right that wrong. I'm going to take it. And that comes at the expense of you, the expense of Walter, Lashley, Miz, Omos, Wardon, and anybody else in that match. Sami Zayn, all of them. 79 tag match. Banger! Because, of course, Path of the Dragon are now carrying other teams. But in terms of popularity and, I guess, just general victories and stature, this is technically them beating a more established duo. Not as a team, because Escobar's main team was Swerve the whole time. But Tozawa pins Ridge with a diving senton. 82 for Carrillo. Wait, Humberto did better? Maybe Humberto's tired of me gassing Tozawa up this much, and now he's going to start being a king as well. Maybe it's Tozawa's poor gimmick or whatever. Something's wrong. But they both get 70s, Escobar and Ridge, because they're both capped. And these two again, 82 and a 77 respectively. Banger win for everyone's favourite part of Raw. Oh, speaking of everyone's favourite part of Raw, it might be time to save some room at that table. Because we've got an upset R-Truth. And Titus O'Neil, of all people, Big Bad Thad, walks in. He's like, hey, Truth. What's up? What's up? What's keeping you down? He's like, well, I've lost my 24/7, 48/7, 64 worldwide championship. I held that. That's my baby, that is. I don't even know what happened to it anymore. I've not seen it on the show in weeks now, since Goldberg took it. And Titus is like, well, it's Karrion Kross for a start, and my brother, that's the same belt. He just plastered a K on the front of it and a sticker. And Truth's like, so my baby will come back to me? He's like, I'm sure if you give it enough time, your baby will come back to you. But for now, I've got a proposition for you, Truth. Why don't you follow me? And he's like, why do I want a proposition with you? I'm happy in my position right here, sitting down on this desk. He's like, no, not a new position, a proposition. He's like, you're losing me, dog. I don't know what that means. Twice like, just hands him my business card. He's like, just pay attention to that, because this is going to be big. And Truth just sort of looks at it really confused, like, what is this? But the segment mainly existed to just let everyone know that the 24/7 belt is the exact same belt that Karrion Kross has. Like, just to let everyone know that this isn't the way of writing that belt off. That belt will return once, you know, Edgy Boy got rid of it. Just, yeah, he's doing his thing with it right now. Backstage segment. Alexa's office, Rhea walks in. She's like, well, Alexa, another week. I beat Liv last week, and I can't help but notice that I've got nothing for Money in the Bank. And it's like, well, we're waiting for the qualifiers to end first, smartass. Like, I know who the current number one contender is based on technicality and like wins and losses and stuff. Who should be the top contender for the championship? If you haven't got a contender by the last week before Money in the Bank, I'll just tell you who the contender is. But I'm waiting to see if anybody really steps up between now and then, Rhea. Because, trust me, I care about that Raw Women's division. I care about making this the best division in the world, because you never know when the jacket might come off, the shoes might come off, the pants might come off. Not in that way. Just, you know, and the gear goes on, the boots go on, the hair goes down, and I wrestle you for the belt, Rhea. She's like, oh, so this is all some sort of long con to get yourself the championship, I see. Alexa's like, no. I'm just saying, if people keep pissing me off like they are, like Bianca is and this Nova girl, and now you, I guess, who knows what'll happen. As you can see, there's somebody not in this room right now. So who knows what she's dealing with. This match is an 84. And I've set the wrong winner. Awesome. Oh well, doesn't matter. Ignore what the game says, okay? The person who wins, I will tell you who wins, and not the game will not. So they get, it goes 11 minutes. And Julie's out there with Asuka because they don't want Micah out there, because Micah's been a bit of a bitch recently. Because she threw a shit fit over Asuka team with Julia instead of her. As in her team with Julia instead of Asuka, you know. So Liv sort of showing more ruthless side. She's fighting, like she beat B-Fab, I think. And she lost to Rhea, but was aggressive in that match as well. So she's like wrestling as a crazy Liv. And Asuka's wrestling like, well, Asuka. And Asuka's going to put Liv down. She's got the strikes in. And she goes to lock in the Asuka lock. When Julie gets distracted at ringside, there's another woman who's come to ringside. She's like, I told you to go away. Like, what are you even doing here? But it's not Julia. It's not Micah even. It's Scarlett, of all people. She's just at ringside. It's like, well, I'm just checking out the fucking action. Like, you need to get up in your grill, girl. And then Scarlett gets in Julia's face. And then Julia goes to swing at Scarlett. Misses her. Accidentally clocks Asuka. And then Liv rolls up Asuka 1, 2, 3 to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank. She gets a 72. Asuka gets a 94. And the win technically in the game. But like I said, Liv won. Ignore what the game says to you. And yeah. After the match, though, Julia gets in the ring and she's immediately starting to apologise. She's like, no, bitch, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you, Asuka. Asuka's, of course, furious. She's like, I see what the fuck you're doing here. Like, you got rid of... Micah was the good girl all along. You're the snake. Like, you've just cost me this match because you're jealous of me. And she's like, no, it was an accident. Look, Scarlett's out there. And Scarlett's on the apron now. She's sort of just looking in at both the women. And then she's got, like, a hoodie on. Unzips the hoodie, and then she takes off the hoodie, and then there's an audible gasp and a shocked face because she's wearing a Grand Jury t-shirt. Then Edge's music hits, and him, Randy Orton, and Damian Priest, and all of the masked people, the hooded, disguised members of Judgment Day, come out and just stand on the stage as Scarlett begins to assault Asuka. And Julie's like, well, you're not fucking doing this in front of me, bitch. Fuck off. Shoves Scarlett to the floor, helps Asuka up. But bang, Julia takes Asuka down as well. Asuka's suspicions were correct. And Julia and Scarlett leave with the Grand Jury. Like Edge said, these disguised people weren't the only members of the group that we didn't know. There was some hidden in plain sight. Quick backstage segment. I say quick, it actually goes quite long given that it's sort of like a two-part. The Prophets are backstage going, it's a very quick juxtaposition from the big betrayal segment and the Judgment Day stuff to just Angelo Dawkins going, yeah, immediately after. But they're with the Mysterios, they're gassing up their four-way next week, but they're letting it known that there's going to be the best man's going to win it, and whoever wins is going to Money in the Bank. That's going to be awesome. And then we just hear another big loud thump like we did at Survivor Series last year. And we hear this time a Canadian man screaming out in pain. And everyone goes, the Babyface go to check on him as Sami Zayn holding his knee. It's like, fuck, I was attacked. I bet it was Ludwig. It's like, no, get the medics, get the doctors. They all run off, and Sami's there holding his leg. Then Breeze and Wardon just sort of walk out of the shadows. He's like, I guess again, for once, it's not me. like, I'm the go-to suspect for this kind of thing after last year, but he looks at Wardon, he's like, I guess a spot in the Battle Royal just opened up. And Wardon's like, sure did. Here at Big Mattress Inc. we can't wait. Cameron Grimes is walking into the shop. He walks up to the bed. He sees Wendy sleeping. He's like, Wendy, wake up. And she sort of lifts her little iPad. She's like, She's like, you've been sleeping here for like 3 weeks. Like, what are you doing? She's like, these beds are comfy. Like, I need to sleep. I needed my nap. Like, that's why I came here. Like, oh, I managed to beat Bobby here last week. Oh, haven't had a good night's sleep in about a month, and I keep seeing this place advertised all over Raw. So I figured with me and my wealth and my fortune that I could afford one of these super matches and actually get my sleep schedule back on track. And then when he's like, okay, well, the manager's over there, go talk to him about what the best one is. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm going over. Cameron Grimes gonna buy himself a big sparkly new mattress. And he walks over, and Wendy just goes back to sleep. So Wendy's not actually going to be, the mattress head. But I couldn't not use her as a cameo in these segments. So she's going to go back to NXT after this. Now we've actually entered the world of Big Mattress Inc. We've got a purpose. Cameron Grimes is coming here to buy a mattress because he's been tired this whole time. $80 Battle Royal. I'll take it, given it's a Battle Royal. Also, Big E's on commentary, so if that hindered the match. But we have the members on screen: Bobby Lashley, Cesaro, Finn Balor, Swerve, Kyle O'Reilly, Omos, The Miz, Tyler Breeze, Walter, and Wardon. We start the match. Breeze is hiding behind Wardon like most of the time, and the first person to go is The Miz, of course. Walter dispatches The Miz in quite quick order. We then get big men facing off: Wardon, Walter, Omos, Lashley, all of them just sort of slapping each other. When Lashley charges at Walter, he clotheslines him, but the force of Lashley's speed that he's running at, they both tumble over the top rope, and they eliminate each other. Next to go, Wardon. Well, Swerve and Finn Balor are fighting because they're the rivals. Wardon will toss them both out. Then we've got Cesaro, Kyle, Omos, Breeze, and Wardon. And Kyle O'Reilly and Cesaro are back at it. They're grappling. They're fighting like good wrestlers do. When Kyle does indeed do what he says he was going to do, he eliminates Cesaro from the Battle Royal. And then he's immediately just yeeted into the air by Omos. And Cesaro catches him because we throw Kyle 5 million feet in the air. But Cesaro's going to catch him. He's a pro. And it's going to look awesome. So then our final three are Wardon, Omos, and Tyler Breeze. And Breeze is like, look. You big oaf, look. You got this guy. You can get this guy out. I can't get this guy out of this match. You can because you're big and strong. Big E did it back at the Royal Rumble. You can do it here. And then Breeze starts just issuing traffic, and Wardon sort of stops listening to him. He's like, why have you stopped? Get him. Get him out of this match, you fucking idiot. Slaps Wardon. And he's like, bitch, fuck you. Grabs Breeze and tosses him out of the match to a massive pop. So now it's just Wardon and Omos. Wardon finally getting the babyface spot that he's been destined for since he turned in real life, and I've been booking him as a heel still. We finally give him that big babyface spot. He's going face to face with Omos. He's got the straps pulled down. They're exchanging strikes in the middle of the ring. But in the end, it's not enough. Omos dumps Wardon over. And Omos is going to Money in the Bank. And how on earth will our world champion overcome these odds? This man has never been pinned under the name Omos. He got pinned 2 years ago when he was in the Hoss House, but we forget about that. That's a different name. That's Obakanu, that wasn't Omos. And Big E gets in the ring. He's like, okay, I see this is a fucking massive challenge for me, but I'll don't back down from any fight. When Omos grabs Big E by the throat. Double choke slam. He starts wailing on Big E. Kofi and Woods run out, but he lays them out of boots as well. He probably still has Big E by the throat, actually, because I think that's always a cool visual. He still has Big E by the throat. Kofi runs in, he gets booted, Woods gets booted, but he still has Big E grabbed, and he double chokeslams Big E, and all three New Day men are laid out at his feet as Bivens claps along at the start of his Colossus, winning the Battle Royal and earning a World Heavyweight Championship match at Money in the Bank. How on earth will our World Champion overcome these Colossus odds? A rated show despite the meh main event. I'll take it, you know? But yeah, things were coming along quite nice. I actually kind of like this show. Every segment on the show I think really advanced something, which is cool. It's always good to do that. We finally got the big turn that I've been teasing for a while with Julia and Asuka, because the whole Micah thing was a red herring on purpose, you know. But anyway, I'm going to pause here and then we're going to come back for Heat. And yeah, see you on the other side. We saw Brandy arrive earlier on, and that's because she's got a big announcement here for Heat. She says we're going to Heat. Obviously last week, or no, on SmackDown, it was announced the main event of this show will be the tag team encounter, pitting Io Shirai and Kairi Sane against Toxic Attractions, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. And that's going to be a big match brewing for a while now. Good opportunity for those two girls to prove themselves against two of the best in the division. But now here's my big announcement. We're going to have, you know, we've got Kingsley Queen and Tom Phillips as the commentators of Raw, and they're going to keep on for Heat, but we're going to need a female presence at the booth, so they're going to be joined by WWE Hall of Famer Lita on commentary. And she joins the desk for the first match of the evening, which gets a 58. That's actually kind of cool. They might get 53s, but Grace is way less popular, so that should tell you everything you need to know. Grace pins Frankie with the fall from Grace in 8:32. This is two sort of like NXT/Heat women. Just a nice showcase match for like what's to come. Now another quick match. Another NXT lady, Ariana Grace, is beaten by the House of Black's Dani Luna. She gets a 52, which is actually good. I think she's got like 30 odd pop. So that's actually not a bad rating for Dani. And a 31 for Ariana Grace. 6:41 it goes, British and German suplex. And spooky Dani Luna gets the win. She got her gothic makeup on, etc. and all that. Another NXT showcase woman. Naomi gets a singles victory. She beats Victoria Shields, who is a random Scottish regen I have. And she wins for 8:27 with a split leg moonsault. 54 rated match. 65 for Naomi. And a 20 for Victoria Shields. Then the main event. I actually have to explain this segment. Brandy's leaving and she's attacked by a lady named Florence who we've never seen before. Right. That Io Shirai injury was really fucking annoying, you know? That's my figurehead of this goddamn fucking company going down. 1 year, 2 months, 3 weeks. My fucking my second favourite female wrestler on the planet, you know? The most overwhelming of my fucking company. Going down over a fucking year without booking Io. It's fine. At least I still have Becky here. Oh, fuck you!